G'day, I'm Ash, and welcome back to War Thunder. Yeah, I know it's been a little while. I haven't really been uploading War Thunder videos, aside from ones that randomly blow up because they're a top 10 list. Regardless, that's kind of Squawk 7600, if you understand what I mean. Today we're in tanks, which is quite unusual for my channel, considering that a lot of the War Thunder content recently has been focused on tanks. Well, that's I guess the meta features that, doesn't it? So, slowly transitioning over to tanks. It's taking a while, but aviation is basically dead in the water. Now, I'm on the Battle of Tunisia, and I'm driving the P40. With the Italian tanks coming out soon, it's going to be quite interesting. Now, I'm joined by Freyn, Freyn. He is a fellow War Thunder streamer and content creator. So I'm going to leave a link to his Twitch and his YouTube in the description down below. But anyway, I usually like to record directly from the game, but instead I'm going to have to do this from the replay. As I was streaming at the time, I don't have any way to separate my my music from my stream. So anyway, we're just going to have to do it from a replay. And first target spotted, I believe that is a ZIS-30. Anyway, well, fire the first shot, and of course, I don't play tanks very often, so I'm kind of trash. So reload, boom, and we have got him. That's our first kill of the match, and the ZIS-30 down. Anyway, our friend Freyn gets taken out by a sneaky Cromwell. I have no idea where he is, so I'm going to have to be very aware of my surroundings here. So I'm just going to scan around and see if I can spot anything. Just double checking my surroundings, because you never know. Cromwells are quite the sneaky vehicle. Compared to the P40, which isn't the most maneuverable tank on the battlefield, I think that the Cromwell is certainly, you know, a better vehicle, as a light tank goes diving off a cliff over there in that direction. Anyway, we're just going to scan around here, looking for some targets. We'll push forward to the point where most enemies come through, and I think, yep, I've just spotted a tank over there in the opening to the city. So we're going to pursue that. What is it? Looks to be an M3 Lee. Okay, we're just going to put a shot through. Boom. Okay, we've knocked out his commander and his loader. Let's see. Can I shoot him again? Yeah, I got a hit. Okay, I damaged his 37mm. That's not good enough. We're going to have to take out his driver and his transmission there, as we just do. And I'm going to pull forward a bit and see if I can kill him. Alright, put one shot into him, knocking out his loader. And he puts one shot into me and sets me on fire. Anyway, we're going to deploy a smoke round and extinguish the fire. That's when I take a shell to the rear of the turret, just here in a second. Yeah, right there, mysterious tank. Anyway, thankfully, Freyn's got my back, and he take out the tank that was shooting at me. And then, of course, I killed the M3 Lee. Now, did the M3 Lee have any other people with him? I'm pretty sure I took another shot from that direction on the other side of the M3 Lee, so we're just going to put a shot through here just to deter anything. And I think it's time to continue moving. Well, he's definitely respawned, that's for sure. Wait for the rest of the building to crumble here. And we're going to push our way down the cliff. I'm honestly looking forward to Italian tanks. It's going to bring a little bit of diversity to the game. I think that by playing this thing, you're getting a real feel for some of the low to mid-tier Italian vehicles. They could be really good, they could be really bad. Oh, as we slide down the cliff here, and we nearly end up on our side, but thankfully I'm a good driver. And also note, I'm running extremely low on ammunition. I didn't mean to fire that round, but anyway, we're going to cross the river here and head into the town. But yeah, back on track with the Italian vehicles. I'm personally looking forward to the Breda bus, with the 90mm Italian gun. I think that's going to be a bit of a dirt machine. Also, they've recently announced an armoured car, a four-wheeled armoured car, and here we go. There's a poor T80 here. He has no idea we're here. Wait for him to come around the corner. Blam. Hull break. Knock out the crew. And that is my third kill for the match. I'm always very cautious when entering the town, especially on Tunisia here, as there can be tanks to your right here, tanks to the front, and also tanks to the left. Now, I usually don't go directly through the centre, so I'm just going to take a detour and head around the left-hand side of the town, and head around to the outskirts to where they usually flood in over the bridge. Making sure I check every corner, so it's quite a tight sort of spacing. You get tanks that surprise you coming around the corner doing like 30-40 kilometers an hour, and sometimes it can catch you off guard, especially if they're M18 Hellcats, which thankfully we weren't up-tiered, so we weren't necessarily facing. This thing's a 3.3 battle rating, and it's certainly a fantastic little vehicle, but when it gets up tiered, especially 4.0, 4.3 games, yeah, it tends to struggle when it comes to penetration with its main round, which is why I'm using the heat shell, particularly as a main on this vehicle. We've got 8 rounds left, and considering I started with 20, yeah, that's quite a lot of shells that I've been through already. But keep in mind that the more ammunition you take in the P40, the more at risk you are of getting detonated. And anyone who flanks you on your left and right side, you're pretty much done. But that's the same story with most vehicles, unless you're talking about KV-1Es or KV-1Bs, etc, etc. Anyway, we're going to push up to the ruins of the tower just here, because it's always a good position to look for where the enemies are coming, because you never know, they could be coming to the right there. But it's also a good observation platform. As you can see, there's a vehicle right up there. I don't know if he can see me. Dump into binocular view here. I'm going to push up very slowly as he comes trundling down the hill. He has no idea I'm here, so I'm going to level my gun out, aim up, and I'm going to put one straight through his weak spot. Boom, knock the whole entire crew out. Fantastic. Just have a little bit more of a scan around, and I'm going to just pull back into hiding. Now, I have fallen in love with this vehicle. I think it's immense fun. Not only does it get 3 respawns up until when the Italians are getting added, it gets the ability to, well, spawn multiple times. And even though the RP you earn for Italians now isn't going to go anywhere, it's certainly a fun experience. People don't expect this thing in a lot of locations. But I've turned around because I've heard some vehicles nearby, and I don't know where they are. So I'm just pulling back because artillery was dropped on me. And I have a feeling that there will be a vehicle coming around that corner any second now, so I'm just sort of delaying the inevitable. I'm probably going to pop up again. I'm going to deploy artillery on the bridge and on my position. I'm going to pop back up here because it can create a smoke cover as well as reveal some enemies. And something's just zoomed across the bridge just there, so I'm going to pull back and hopefully he doesn't flank me. Anticipate the shot here, go into gunner view, pull around the corner. Alright, he's pulled around the corner, boom, hull break. Fantastic. No more armoured car for you. Now we're going to pull back up here. We've now got 5 shells left, and there's a BT-7 behind us. Anyway, this is what I mean by getting flanked in this vehicle. At this point I was thinking, okay, I'm dead here. But with a little bit of angle armouring and a bit of, you know, terrain advantage, knowing about what terrain you're on, this guy had no clue where to penetrate me. And of course I shot him once, I didn't quite kill him. He bounced off my frontal slope, but in the end I get to put a second shot because the reload on this gun is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, do a quick check of my surroundings here. You never know when a sneaky tank destroyer or light tank is going to come out in the middle of nowhere. I'm just going to face my engine towards anyone just in case I get shot in the rear. And of course there goes the BT-7's artillery. And the artillery actually knocks out my track. Anyway, Cromwell just got taken out on the opposing river. And if anyone was really smart enough right now, they'd shoot me in the back of the turret. Although my crew should be relatively protected because they've got to go through the engine to kill the last 2 remaining crew, which are actually sitting in the hull. Anyway, we've spotted some movement off to the right-hand side again. There's soon to be more tanks on that side. I think it's an anti-air vehicle of some kind or something. Anyway, Freyn goes and destroys a M2 light tank and destroys a couple of other vehicles while we're at it. Ah, hello. Got a tank directly behind us and he shoots us in our turret, knocking out the remaining crew member that was in the turret. So now we've got to wait for that to happen. Either that or I could push forward, which I should have done inherently. And Freyn's also gone and destroyed 2 more tanks. And well, he's doing fairly well for himself. Now, let's shoot that Cromwell, of course. Well, keep in mind I've only got 3 to 4 shells left. I'm on 6 kills currently, and an M10 shown up. Oh, we'll just focus this Cromwell as I take another shot to the rear. Cromwell's on fire, and there goes my breach. Got my breach taken out. Anyway, Freyn is here to help me out. He helps me repair. And we're just going to sort of sit here as I drop artillery on them, on their position there, hoping to get them to move. Now this just shows you that in a strong position this tank can't be taken out. However, I did use half my ammunition early on pushing through the city, and I've only got 2 shells left, so we're going to use them before we move on to an aircraft. And crest back over the bridge to see if I can plonk this one in the Cromwell. Of course I dunk it and it bounces straight off, but At the same time, it does quite a lot of damage. Well, LVT appears. So I go, oh, maybe I should take out the LVT. Anyway, I put 2 shots into those 2 tanks. I'm out of ammunition. At this point, I may as well just be bait. So let's switch into an aircraft. And of course, with a 3.3 lineup, you've got, well, the Romanian duck. So anyway, oh, hang on, I've spotted an M16 AAA truck. Let's go take that one out. Knock all the crew out. Upon turning around, however, we get taken out by a Hurricane. And it is quite the entertaining one. I'm trying to destroy this Valentine here. Put a bunch of shots into him. Hit a rock and start spinning around like crazy. And that's the end of my flight. Anyway, back in the P40, Freyn must have died, and we're pushing up towards their cap. As at this point, it's quite late in the match. There's a Crusader over there. Of course I dink the shot, because I'm absolutely crap at tanks. I am getting better, but it is taking some time. It's a miracle that I even got 7 kills in this match at all. I've also been awarded 2 assists for the 2 tanks that I shot at before. It seems like some friendlies had taken them out, but we're pushing on through to the B capture point. There's already a friendly heading directly towards B. Freyn decides to take a little bit of a detour and head a little bit right. I'm going to head straight in there because a capture point is decent RP. It's also, you know, good to help out your team to win, because this match has been going for 18 minutes now, or 18.5 minutes, and it is rather a long match. For me, I find tanks particularly obscure. They're quite odd to play, the game is a bit funky. I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I don't really hate it at the same time. Top tier tends to be a little bit toxic. It's basically you snapshotting everyone and flying around in sort of what feels like I'm playing arcade, even though you're playing realistic. And I don't know, the fact that I've got 7 kills in this particular game is quite of itself. But anyway, around the corner rolls an AC Mark II AAA, and just spotted him here. Put one straight into the side of his hull there, knocking out his transmission and giving him a hull break. So, well, GG on that part. And now we're just going to sit and cap. You know, we've got 8 kills. You know, I thought I wouldn't get any more. Oh, and then we get shot in the side of the turret. I initially didn't see where this shot came from, but, well, I found him. Little pesky Crusader. Anyway, put 1 shot into him, and of course it hits the tent. It always got to hit the tent. You know, that was intense. Anyway, Crusader's continuing to bounce off my frontal armor, just again keeping it sloped towards him. And let's put another one in. Okay, we've knocked out his track, but at least he's somewhat side on to us. We take a shot in return and we put one out, knocking out his idler wheel at the front of his tank. Serdum tells me to stop playing War Thunder because it's bad for me, but regardless I ignore the message and, well, kill the Crusader. Now, in terms of content coming up that is War Thunder based, I will be addressing that in a separate video coming up later. Also, pre-scheduled earlier this week was a Crash with Ash, so that will be coming out later today after you see this video. Regardless, that's a bit of self-promotion done. We're nearing the end of the match here. We're capping B slowly. They've only just started capping A. I've got 9 kills here, and now we're just waiting for, well, us to run out of tickets. The friendly goes and jumps off a cliff there. And we're just going to push forward. I believe the last guy is in an aircraft. And here comes the friendly to help cap. Freyn in the distance over there, and it's pretty much good game from here. The point where we capture this is basically game over. Freyn and I earn ourselves a decent score. We're top of the team, we also get best squad, and A13 comes barreling over the cliff here. Can I kill him? No. Unfortunately, a teammate gets him before myself and Freyn can get him. It was a it's a little bit of a battle for who can get you know, the highest amount of kills, and there he is up on the opposing hill there. It was a fantastic game. I got 9 kills, he got 10, and the last guy's in an airplane dropping rockets on us just right then. Deploy the smoke, move forward out of the smoke. And that's pretty much it. Now, over the next coming weeks, there's probably going to be some dev server content, considering that the update, I have a feeling, is going to drop in the next couple of weeks at least. If not, the week before Christmas. There might be a end-of-year challenge or exclusive vehicle, who knows, we're going to have to stay tuned for that as well. In terms of War Thunder content, I don't know what to cover, so if you've got any suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, slap that like button. I believe it's the first time I've ever asked anyone to do that, but with YouTube nowadays, it's a bit of a mystery of what happens and what have you. But anyway, my name's Ash, thank you to the patrons for supporting the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio!